Thank you.
You too. Okay.
I'm trying to get sexy
You look
here.
really hot right now.
Thanks.
It might be the AC. I don't know.
It's everything.
It is probably.
It's my,
Hello. Welcome. Hey, whatever. You know what?
What?
I brought the entertainment. What are you making?
A Wicked Witch.
A Wicked Witch.
We call it the Elphaba. You ever see Wicked? Or not
No.
Wicked? It's a great play.
I
Recommend
really
it.
need to.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, so
I know.
good.
That's one that I like. Feel like I've heard like the soundtrack, but I've never actually like seen it.
It's I used to
And,
have
like,
that
there's a lot-
soundtrack memorized.
See, there's so much like Broadway stuff that I've like seen and everything that I'm surprised I haven't seen Wicked.
Let's go see it.
Okay,
It's
let's
a good
go.
time.
You and me.
Perfect. Let's
Sorry, let's,
go. All right.
All right, we're
Let's
doing
try this. See how this goes. It's so pretty though,
Wait, is
isn't
this
it?
like a shot? How are we doing this?
Is this a shot
this
for
a
you?
contest?
Is this a shot? Is
I don't know if we're doing
this an Adrienne
drinking
shot?
contest. Do I need a straw? Let me get a straw. Hold on. Listen. I know I brought my own cups, okay? But I also brought my own
I know, and they got little
straws.
unicorns on
They
them.
are, and they're paper.
They're beautiful.
So they're good for the sea turtles.
And the landfills.
The landfill
turtles.
Yes. Would you like one?
Sure.
Yes.
I appreciate
okay.
it.
Absolutely. No, I'm, here for you. A little bit for me, but here for you,
I'm excited. It's so pretty though, huh?
Yeah.
It's like an emerald.
I love it. All right.
All right.
So
Good luck with this, huh?
good.
Cheers to Adrienne.
Are we racing? What's happening?
Are we racing? Where are we going?
I mean, that's actually really not that bad. I was a little nervous.
Were you really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm 2 for 2 tonight.
You really are. Yeah. How long have you been a bartender?
Ever since I've been Mormon.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Wow. Yeah.
It's the first time I've took the words out of your mouth.
This whole time.
The whole
I know.
time.
I really have
3
no
hours,
words for
2
this.
hours.
I have absolutely no words.
That's really good.
So this is, what is this?
So this is,
Okay.
So that
I knew
gin.
that was very
there's
familiar.
a little gin.
Okay.
There's a little bit of Midori, obviously,
But
for the green.
this is the strawberry pineapple.
Yeah, it's not a straight
flavored
gin. It's a flavored.
That it makes a lot of sense why it goes with the Midori because it's melons.
It is. Strawberry and melons
All right.
always go together.
Okay.
Gotta love the melons. And then we got some lemonade. And that's it.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
Huh, it's really good.
Yeah.
I would say 7 out of 10 would recommend.
Thank you. Yeah, when you're this tipsy, it's fine. Let's put a little bit of this.
I think you should stir that up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna just.
Why you got another? Are you gonna try mine?
I'm gonna try yours. Yeah. Sorry. This is how I do this.
That added a little hint of coconut cream to it.
No,
but
I'm gonna stick with mine.
You do you.
Yeah,
you
no,
do boo-boo.
you do you. I'm gonna 2-straw this now.
But see, now I got the cool, like, radioactive green going on here.
Just kidding. So
I feel like I'm getting interviewed on my own show.
you are. You will be.
You will be. Well, anyway, welcome. I'm
Thank you.
so excited you're here.
Me
A
too.
little more nervous now.
Good.
So we got a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Don't quite know where to start because you and I, like you said, have only had very formal conversations. So I don't know exactly a whole lot about you. What I do want to know, though, is what this hair unicorn thing's all about, because my wife loves it, my daughter loves it, and I see these awesome videos on like TikTok and Insta and all this stuff. So what's the story with the hair unicorn?
So I had done hair in Florida for, gosh, it was almost a decade. I was licensed and out working, and it was just like a regular fish in a regular pond. Like, it wasn't anything, major. I had a normal clientele. It didn't feel like overwhelming at all. It was, just normal, like, you know. And when I was out there, Instagram and like hair and everything was just kind of like new. So it wasn't as much, I guess, just kind of posting pictures and just kind of going like, oh, look what I did. And
when was this? Like, how long ago?
Oh gosh. I want to say like the Instagram thing started probably like 7 or 8 years ago that it like really kind of became a thing that it was like, you need to be posting. And now there's a lot of pressure to like do reels and things like that. But my dad, he moved out here and he lied to me, you know, and told me how great it was. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I actually really love it here.
I did the same thing to my wife too.
You know what I mean? It's a joke. Like I joke about it, but I really do love this area. I love the community. And I really like how you can go like an hour every way and like, you know, see something different.
Gotcha. So your dad was out here?
He lives out here.
Okay.
So he's a CNC machinist. He does not do hair. And so I came out here and just kind of like a few times I've come out and kind of stayed with him and, you know, whatever. And we'd be out shopping like at Walmart or something, Safeway. And he'd go, do you see that hair? Do you see that? That's bad. And I'm like, and I'd look and I'd be like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, he's like, they need you. And I was like joking about it.
Right,
you know?
right.
He's like, you should be a hair missionary. I'm like, dude, if my dad,
a hair missionary?
If my dad, who's a CNC machinist, who knows nothing about hair, who has no hair, Dad, I love you. I'm really sorry. But it, you know, it's true. He is, you know, he grows a beard, but that's, you know, that's where we're at. But for him to notice was like, kind of like, okay, like, yeah. And I'm looking and going, what's up? And I know like, you know, it's a remote area and, you know, whatever. But I moved out here. It's been about 6 years. And I landed at I just grabbed a job somewhere. It was just a corporate outfit that is actually no longer. And there was this lady that came in and she just like sat in the chair and I said, hi, I'm Adrienne. Like, how can I help you today? And she goes, oh, just do whatever you want. You're not going to listen anyway. And I was like, excuse me, like, oh, yes, I will. Like, you know, but, and then I basically like had to like beg her for a consultation. Hi. Sorry. Hey, whatever, you liquored me up. This is your fault. But she can't, you know, I basically had to be like, you know, please tell me what you want. Like, tell me. And she's just like, fine. Like, and it was like very aggressive and very like, I want to cut like this and I want it like this and but you're not going to listen. I'm like, okay, all right, Brenda, like calm down. Right, yeah. And so I just did her hair like I would anybody else. I did her hair, but I was kind of an ass. Okay. Yeah, and I kept her away from the mirror. I turned her away from the mirror. I don't usually do that. Like those that know me know, like I might at the end, if I know you're excited, I'll like do a big reveal, blow dry and like keep your back to the mirror so you can't see the end. Cause I know you're going to be like, you know, but like, I'm not the one, like usually I work around the chair so people can stay and look at the mirror, you know? Yeah. So I totally I was a jerk. I really was. And I turned her around at the end for the big reveal. Of course. You know? Yeah. Makeover show. Come on. Yeah. Like I belonged on Ricky Lake back in the day doing makeover day. I swear to God.
Ricky Lake's a name I haven't got her in a long time.
God, I wanted to do that so bad. So she turns around and she goes, oh my God, you're like a mystical hair goddess. And I was like, and I swear if she's watching right now, I'm like, I'm really sorry, I know, but you know, I think she moved away though, I'm pretty sure. But I go, no, I'm just a unicorn. Like we're hard to find. And she's like, oh my God, you are. You're a hair unicorn. And I was like, no. And so she kept coming in and bringing people to me and going like, here, this is my sister, this is the hair unicorn I was telling you about. And I'm like, oh my God, Brenda, please stop. Like, and it just kind of turned into this thing. And so then I left the place that I was and I found a management position, which is really where my heart is in it. I love coaching and developing other stylists and really helping them hone their skills and like grow. Like that's my thing. Like I want to see you better than me, like please. Right. So I go to this corporate place and I'd hear somebody come up to like the little desk and there's like a little like customer service worker and they go, hi, I'm looking for the hair unicorn. And they go, is that like a product? And they're like, I think it's like a person. And I'm totally like behind the chair, okay, cutting, and I'm totally doing this. like, oh God, I don't want to tell her that it's me. I was trying to shake it, you know?
Right.
And I finally would just kind of go, that's me. And I just remembered like coworkers going, the hair unicorn, like,
right.
And I'm like, I know, okay, I can't get away from it. So it just kind of was this thing, and it stuck. And
all because of Brenda.
Literally, God, Brenda, I can't with you. So
I can't with you.
Yeah, I don't know. So I eventually got tired of like corporate life. And basically like paying them, and I wasn't really making a lot. Like my take home just wasn't there, and I'm going, how am I supposed to support my kid? And I was at that point just a single mom. Now I have a blended family, and it's a totally different world. But you know, it was just she and I mean, I was living off credit cards to make it, because they were just the taxes and everything. And it just, I wasn't making it. And I'm going, man, there's gotta be something better than this. And I felt like they owned me during like holiday seasons where I couldn't go out of state and visit relatives. You know, it's like, oh, those are blackout days, or, you know, and then if I wanted to work extra time, I wasn't allowed. And that bothered me, because I love what I do. Don't tell me I can't, you know, I want to be at work. Let me work 24/7 if I want to.
Right, exactly.
And now I feel like I do work 24/7, and I mean, that's, you know, the way it is.
That's that business owner life.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
But I love it, you know. But yeah, when I went out on my own and finally decided, okay, I'm going to like do this. I'm going to make my own shop. And I'm asking my then best friend, I don't know what to name it. I knew I didn't want it to be Adriennes, because I've been in salons before where the owner's name is on the building, and then you get like telemarketers calling constantly just asking for that person. Yeah. Even though, and it sounds like a client you don't know, and then it's just nonsense. And it takes time from them behind the chair and everything. So I just kind of like made it, I was like, I don't know what to call it. And I had all these funny names, and, you know, because there's like Curl Up and Die in town. And, you know, it's like,
there's some
like,
cool names.
Like, I just want something like that was kind of funny, like Never a Dull Moment, because that's totally accurate. But, you know, my friend was like, just the Hair Unicorn Salon, like, duh.
Right.
Okay, you know, so I made it the Hair Unicorn and Company, because I knew I wanted to have other like stylists there in the salon and have other services and things like that. And so that's really like what made it take off. I just, you know, after working for over a decade for corporate, you know, you just kind of like, to get that freedom. I'm going to tell you right now, when I left corporate, I didn't eat for 3 days, and I'm a stress eater.
Wow.
I did not eat for 3 days.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
If I tried to eat, I would be sick every time, because I'd go, oh my God, what did I just do? I just left this job that I knew I had. I had all these clients. I knew I had this. I had security, I had insurance, and, you know, I could do it. And, you know, but it's like, in the reality, I wasn't really making it. I just kind of like, you know, it's like you like tell yourself that you're safe in this spot. And once I broke out, it was like, wow, okay. Like, it was totally different.
It is.
You treat it different when it's your own business.
You do. And it's very scary for those, for those first, I don't know, how long was it for you? Like, how long from when you're like, you know what, I'm out, I'm going to do my own thing. So, or does it ever go away? Are you still nervous about it? Or
I'm not nervous anymore.
How long did it take you to get a clientele where you felt comfortable that you're like, you know, this is it, this is going to work?
I was smart about my exit strategy, I think, so that helped a lot.
Okay.
But I would say like the first like 2 weeks were really terrifying for me. Like, I mean, like, I wasn't sleeping, I was barely eating. Like, I was just like, oh my God, what did I just do? But after that, it was like, I realized that most of my clients were following me to my place. And then it was like, oh wait, like they're following me, you know, because the thing, you know,
they're not loyal to the brand, they're loyal to Adrienne.
That's it. And it was just like, you start to realize that it's like, you get your clientele, and they like you, and it's not about that place that they're at. Like, there was perks and things like that for them to be there. There was loyalty points and things like that, but it wasn't the same. Like, it was like, I realized when I was leaving, my mom and I talked, and she said, I might get teary-eyed on this part, because it was like, but they can't take your skill. They can't
They can't.
What are you going to take with you? Are you going to sit there and go, oh gosh, I have no bookings. Oh, well, no. Like I got on social media and posted my openings and, it's like you message your clients and you say, hey, like, I'm doing this, whatever, you want to bring a friend in and then you get this discount or whatever. You do whatever you have to do to make it work. You stay late, you show up early, like whatever you have to do to make it work.
Right, that grind.
And now I'm to a point now where I'm booked just over 3 months out.
Holy cow. And that's now, when you say you're booked, is that your studio's
Just
booked
me.
or just you, Adrienne?
Just me
So if I want to
personally.
see Adrienne, I can't see you for 3 months.
No. Yeah.
Glad I got you here tonight.
And I'm really accepting new clients on a super limited basis.
Right,
like it has to be like, it has to fit a specific thing that needs to fit in my book, which is crazy. I honestly, I sit here a lot and just go, what? Like, who am I now? Like, it's
so
weird.
different, huh?
I'm so used to being hungry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where I'm just like, I'll take whatever I can get. Like, I'll do whatever, and now I'm just like, no, I'm going to pass on that. And it's like, wow, that's I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Like it kind of makes you go did this happen? Cause you dream about it when you're in school and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, one day. And you're like, okay. And now it's like, wow, it's really it's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's cool.
It is. It's very cool. Do you, now that you have come from working the corporate life, working for somebody else, now running your own store, how has your perspective changed in the team building aspect? How hard is it to find stylists, to bring them under you, to train them up? Has that been a challenge or has it been fun or what's that been like?
I'll say a lot of times it's a challenge.
Okay.
But I feel like the right people have been finding me in the moments that I need them.
Isn't that weird?
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I've just started putting it in the universe of you want to manifest that way. And I totally did a thing and I prayed over my building and I did a whole manifesting and saging and everything and just a transfer of energy, which I know it sounds a little but I did it and it was crazy how fast everything just started to go. I was just I was talking to your lovely wife about painting. Oh my gosh, seriously, about painting a mural in one of my rooms. And it was kind of one of those where I'm like, oh yeah, someday I'm going to have you do. No, then I was like, hey, can you be here for 2 days? Stuff is happening right now and I don't know what to do. And it was just crazy. And she's like, oh yeah. And I mean, she helped me and we made it work. And now it looks gorgeous in that room.
She does amazing work.
She really does.
Right.
So don't tell her I said that.
I won't.
Can you edit that part out?
I will for sure.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, it's I have this passion for, I want to find stylists that they feel like they're weak in an area and they want to grow, but they don't know how, or they're just not being nurtured in that way. And they need this, or they're like, man, I don't know what's going on. My business is just not growing. It's doing this or going and you know what I mean, up and down, but they never get to the up that they want to get. Those are the people that I'm like, come here. Because I spent, like I said, over a decade just analyzing data to figure out where there are opportunities in books and talent and things like that.
So how do you find talent and how do you find, because everybody's personality is different, right?
Right.
So you've got to find the talent that you can match up with and build. And how do you do that?
So a long time ago, I had a supervisor that told me that you can train people to be good. You cannot train them to be nice.
It's true. It's very true.
And so that is a huge thing for me. I need to meet you and see your personality and see if you can take it, because there's some people that they can't take that critique and you know what I mean? To build them. There's some stuff where you have to be hey, bro, I got to work on your highlights. Yeah. And you can't sit there and go, oh, my highlights. You can't. Right. You can't do that because you got to move on. You got to grow. So if I come up to the chair in my salon now to one of my girls and say, hey, can I show you something? They know it's because there's something that I want to contribute and teach them. on the spot, and their attitude is, yeah. And that's what I look for. I look for the people that want to learn and grow and have me help them develop. I'm not one, though, to just be like constantly like up their butt, though. Like if it's like they're doing a highlight, I'm not like, how's it going? How are we doing? Do you need more foils? What's happening? Like, what color are we doing? Like, okay.
Right.
Gee, like, no. If they seem like they got it, then they got it. And if we have signals, and we have things that we do in the salon to say like, help, my house is on fire,
Right.
Without saying that, and that's, I think that's important to have that safety net for them. And
it is very much so.
It's totally.
What is your goal for your girls or guys, whoever you have working for you? What's your end goal for them, or what do you hope to see them do?
I want them to grow and look like me.
Okay.
I want them to be to the point where they're just going, oh my gosh, I can't take any more people. Like, I just am so busy. That's where we're at. Like, and then at that point, then it's, okay, now we're looking for the next one to get all the extra traffic that's coming in through like the phones and everything. And, that's where I'm at. My goal is for them to be better. If they want to open their own salon, that power to you.
That was my next question.
But, I do know it's a hard road and it's not for everybody.
Right.
Not every stylist, I think it wouldn't be doing them a justice, every person, to have their own salon, because there's some people that they're not good at like making themselves work.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know.
Like, I don't have anything booked today, so I'll take the day off. It's like, instead it's like, if that's your mentality constantly, then your business isn't going to last.
Exactly.
You've got to.
One thing I've noticed, and my career is a little bit different. We were a lot more probably sales and commission based, in my industry. And I've noticed a lot. I've been in it for 15 years now, and a lot of the guys who are your top salespeople, generally a lot of owners and GMs will be like, okay, well, if he's a top salesperson, he'll be a great manager and he'll teach them. And a lot of the times it's tough to go from that top position into that manager position, because that top position, it's a very self-centered position. It's very much focused on, hey, I got to make my own money. I got to do this. I got to do that. And they've been worried about themselves for so much that it's tough to go and now worry about a team, right? And I notice this a lot, whether it's a salesman going into like a sales manager position or in the service department. It's very tough for a lot of these people who are really, really, really good at what they do to move on and make other people really, really good at what they do. Because for a lot of these guys, it's a natural talent. Like, they're just really good at it.
Right.
But when they go over, it's like, oh, hey, like, this guy's an idiot. How come he doesn't get that? It's not because he's an idiot. He just doesn't have the natural abilities you have. He just wasn't trained like you were trained. So once you train that person, like you said, you can train you can train the skill. You can't train the attitude. And so, once you can train that skill, you can have a lot of good people, but you have to be able to understand and realize it. So it's interesting you went down that, because I see that a lot. I see a lot of people like that. What's next for the Hair Unicorn? Where do you want to see it go? Or you want to have like a bunch of shops like all over the world, or all over the country, or the Southwest?
Like two.
Two? That's it? Okay.
Like, and it's like I work for like 2 days at this one and like 2 or 3 days or whatever, split it up. But I'm not there yet. I still have a room in the salon that we are not even using. Like,
what do you want to use that room for?
If anyone wants to come dig a trench at the salon, I would really appreciate it.
Papa Jose.
Give me a call. I'm literally stuck on plumbing. I'm stuck on plumbing right now. I want to have a nail room in the back.
And you need to run the drain in the line, huh?
I already have a pedicure bench and pedicure sink built. I have a nail table. I need a nail tech. And if she or he has a strong person in their life that will dig a trench, that'd be really great.
Are we talking like cut up the concrete, dig a trench type of deal?
There's a little bit of, I have to lift up. There's some sidewalk that I have to lift up and dig under, but it's not, I feel like it's not as bad as what I think it is, but it's just not, I can't.
I'll tell my dad to come quote it for you, because we did a similar thing, right? So this is kind of a side tangent, but her and I remodeled a house, right? Built in the 60s. And this was built by a dude. Straight up, this house was built by a dude. And here's why I know it's in the 60s. Here's why I know it's built in the 60s. Because in the kitchen, you had your fridge, you had your stove,
Yep.
you had your washer and dryer,
Yep.
and you had like this pull-out ironing board, like all in the kitchen, right? And I know some dude was like, I'm gonna make my wife's job easy. I'm gonna put it all in one room for her so she don't have to go around the house. So I was like, I don't want a washer and dryer in my house, right? So my dad came in, same thing. Washer and dryer. I don't want a washer and dryer in my house. Washer and dryer in my kitchen.
Put it on the roof.
Yeah, put it on the roof. Put it on the shed. Actually, just the laundry's just fine. I don't mind going there. No, so my dad came. Their
drop-off service is amazing.
It is.
I gotta say,
my brother's best friend works there. She does a great job.
Okay.
So he trenched it out. So he trenched it. So we moved it from the kitchen out into like past the dining room into like this like pantry thing that we built where like the washer and dryer was hidden off in there. And like it was a project. Like it was days of cutting up concrete and like digging the dirt out and running the piping and stuff. So
that's where we're at.
My dad's the one to talk to. I'll have him come
I've had all these
look you up.
I don't know if you have other questions or if I can. Let me just
what are you doing here?
Get my pet out so I can. I was gonna get a white cat to stroke while I did this.
Like Dr. Evil.
I reached out. Yes, exactly. Yes. So this is my Dr. Evil unicorn. I also just want to really quickly
Oh my God.
Oh, just no. It's not over. This is the most majestic unicorn that I have been given. I do have a collection. I don't have a number. I cannot tell you how many unicorns I have.
Is it over 100?
It's probably close.
Holy crap.
It's probably close with all the mini unicorns. I have a whole wall. Yeah, see?
Did you get this for the interview?
No.
Okay.
No, someone gave me this.
Okay, good.
So I, as people have had their hair rescued by me.
Right.
They give me unicorns as
a gift.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of unicorns. There's also 20 mini little unicorns hidden throughout the building. We do change it up, but it's really fun for our guests when they're there.
Yeah.
And they're laying in the shampoo sink and they're like, is that a little unicorn above the door? And we're like, yeah, there's 20. And they're like, oh my God. And then the whole time they're just looking. They're just looking for unicorns. It's fun too if somebody brings the kids. We're not really a kid salon.
Right.
But it's fun just to kind of tell a 7 or 8 year old, hey, there's 20 unicorns. Can you find them all? And they're like, okay.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But I reached out to some of your fans.
Oh, Lord.
And we have some questions.
So we're going into this segment.
Yeah, we have some questions for you.
Some questions.
I'm just going to
For me.
Do your socks usually match?
Yes.
Shredded beef or ground beef tacos?
Tell Damon to fuck off.
I reached out to so many people you don't even know. I knew there had to be a story because the way that this whole thing, the way that question was given to me was very okay.
Okay, let me tell that story.
I need to know though.
Here's the story. It's a little bit of a long one, so we might have to edit it.
Just go to the end of it?
Yeah, so we went to Phoenix, me, Damon, and Devin. Damon works for me. He's great, he's my service drive manager, great guy. We went to Phoenix back in 2019, right?
Okay.
And we had a long night and a lot of these.
Oh, really?
And Devin is his wife.
So I'm not alone.
You're not
Devin.
alone. Yeah,
I do her hair.
Yes, Devin's the best.
I do everyone's hair.
I
Just
love.
get used to it, Benjamin.
We fix all their cars, so we have something in common. So, Devin's personality. It's very spunky, much like yours. She very much speaks her mind and does not filter anything.
Not sure if we're talking about the same person.
We definitely are. It's her.
I love
this
her.
might be from her too. So
This is our question.
I knew it would be. So
it was supposed to be anonymous, but you knew right away.
Right away. So here's how this went down. After a long night of drinking, my wife, who's driving us around on 40 hours of no sleep, takes us to Philly Birdos at 4 a.m. in Phoenix, right? And I get a little mouthy and ornery when I'm like 27 tequilas deep. So we're in you know what a Filiberto's is, right?
I don't.
Okay, Filiberto's is like basically a Mexican drive-through. So like you take, Rodolfo's?
Okay.
Put a drive-through on that. That's a Filiberto's.
Okay, got it.
So we're at like a Rodolfo's.
Okay.
And we're in the drive-through and we're ordering tacos after, partying all night. And I'm feisty and I order my shredded beef tacos. And then I hear Devin in the back order her ground beef tacos. And in my inebriated state, I could not understand how anybody would go to Filiberto's and order ground beef tacos when they had shredded beef. So Devin and myself got into a fight at the drive-thru at Filiberto's.
Oh, these are great.
And I was yelling at her. No, I was yelling at her and I was yelling at the drive-thru guy. She does not want ground beef. She wants shredded beef. And Devin's like, no, I want shredded beef. You don't tell me what I want.
Okay.
What?
Ground beef.
Oh, ground beef. Yeah, I want ground beef. You don't tell me what I want. Blah, blah. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's where that comes from. That was me and Devin's first fight of many.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your body positivity?
Ooh, who the hell asked this? I'd probably say a 7 or an 8.
All right. If you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably shredded beef tacos.
Just for the sake of the story.
Just for the sake of the story.
I'm told that you live a regretless style life. That being said, do you have any regrets?
Yes.
All right.
We don't have that long.
It's okay. Which leg do you put your pants in first? Put in your pants first.
Right
You
leg?
really think about that.
I do. I didn't have to think about it. Right leg.
You sure it's right?
I'm pretty sure it's right.
Okay, if you're wrong, you have to let me know.
Okay.
Okay. What do you notice about a person first?
That's a good question. Usually eyes. Aura is probably another one.
Okay. If we went into your search history right now,
Oh, yeah.
what would we find on Google?
Probably a lot of Star Wars shit.
Okay, all right. Socks or underwear first?
Underwear.
Okay.
Put socks on first.
Literally, I was asking the same thing. This one is, I don't know, I felt like it was a little inappropriate, but now that I've met you, I feel like from our like, hello, my name is, okay, to like now, I feel a little better. This one is, are you a lean wiper or a stand wiper?
I'm a lean wiper.
You asked me that, don't you?
Yes. You got names on these cards?
Do not.
Do not.
I am smarter than that. The last one I have is, why did you start a podcast?
Good question. So I think there's a lot of negative in the world. And I don't think a lot of the issues that we're facing are impossible for us to overcome. And what I mean by that is I see a lot of people like yourself who had kind of a rough struggle at the beginning, who by all means should not have been successful and found a way to be successful. And I think those stories get overshadowed by a lot of different things. I don't think they're told enough. I think we're told that we need to be upset, we need to be angry, we need to be entitled to a lot of different things when we're not really entitled to anything except for the chance to make our lives better. And I think I see a lot of people that push the narrative that because you're this way or because you're that way or because you have this, that you shouldn't be successful and somebody owes you something. And I don't think that's right. I don't think anybody owes anybody anything, but I think anybody has the chance to do good, to do better for their lives. I think we're in a very opportunistic time where if you wanted to start a salon, if you wanted to start a business, everything you want is free on the internet right now. Like, we are so lucky to have all this information out there, whether your dream is to go build the next Tesla or to go start the next hair salon or to go start, the next art studio. The information's out there for free. And this is such a crazy time where you have that, where my parents didn't have that. If my parents wanted to do that, or my grandparents wanted to do that, they had to know somebody. You had to know somebody who had done it, or you just had to be super brave and a little bit lucky to do it. Whereas now anybody can do it. And so that's why I started this. I don't know if it'll ever get big or anything. And if it doesn't, that's fine. I enjoy the connections that you and I just spent an hour and a half laughing and joking around. And I feel we became closer because of it. And we shared your story, which is super inspiring to me. You took a huge risk, and it paid off for you. And it doesn't pay off for everybody. It doesn't, but it's paying off for you now. And your people, your clients, the people that come see you, they love you for it. And you bring such a value to the community that you're a part of, that it's what we need. We need more of that. We don't need more hate. We don't need to be angry about stuff that doesn't affect us here.
Right.
And we spend all our time on TikTok and all these different places, which they have a lot of value as it started out your hair salon, but they also have a lot of damaging effects to us. They really, I can post one sentence, like I could post a joke, Trump's best president ever, right? Just a joke, and like,
you'll offend.
I'll lose half my family.
Yeah.
They'll be pissed off and they'll unfriend me, right? And that's what I'm trying to get past. Is I'm trying to get past. Hey, that stuff that's in DC or outside this community doesn't matter. What matters is you trying to build something for you and your family, and not only that, but you're building up hairstylists. You're teaching them what you're passing that on, and that makes the community better. Because those people, they can come and they can take what they've learned from you, and they can go do it in other places, and they can build up more people. And the more people we build up and we help grow, the better it is for everybody.
It's true.
So that's why. I mean, that was the only. That's so
good, though.
I know. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
I think it's a really good reason.
It is.
Like we need our bright spots.
We do, and there's so many. And like, as you see the podcast come, I'll joke a lot. I'll joke about the more serious stuff, the stuff that I feel is not right. It'll pop out in like joke TikToks and stuff. But that stuff, it's not as important as your grind every day to help people put food on their tables and to help build up their families and put roofs over their head. And that grind's so much more important than, whatever crazy other crap's going on out there, because that's what's real. That's what's helping people is the stuff that you're working with your people with, I'm working with my people with. And that's what I take pride in. And I think there's a lot of people that take a lot of pride in that. I'm so proud of like Damon and Brandon, and you met my service drive. Those guys. I mean, those guys.
I do.
They start out.
Trust me, they know me.
They know
okay.
we know your pilot.
We have a whole joke where I come in like this. Okay,
right.
Like it's okay.
It is, but it's so cool to see those guys like. They were making no money, and now they make really, really good money where they're able to buy, I've watched these guys get into houses with their families and put food on their table and buy new cars. And that's cool. That's inspiring to see somebody who goes and does that. And so that's why.
It's the hard work that gets you there.
It is.
It's those long days that sometimes feel like it's like, why? And you're torturing yourself, but it ends up paying off in the end, Right. It really does. It matters. A lot of it, is what you put into it, and if you put yourself into something that hard, and really, like you're saying earlier, it's like, some of it's like a lot of hard work and a little, luck. It's like, absolutely. I think there's still that,
there is
still a lot of that, but you're absolutely right in the way that when if you really push yourself, it's like you can have whatever you want. You really can.
You can.
You really just have to push yourself. If you're finding you're taking all these, it's like taking days off, or like, or cutting things short and not doing that your full attention to it, you're going to lose that.
You are.
It's true, but I like that you're doing this for that bright spot, because we do need it. And I think everybody needs their bright spot. I try to be other people's bright spot when they come in, Sometimes I've got my own nonsense. And,
we do. It's tough.
I joke that I'm not dramatic in the way where I go out and start trouble. Okay. But man, the stuff that happens to me, it's like, pop some popcorn. Here we go. It's crazy. Like literally.
It is.
I bought a new station, okay, for an apprentice. And the place that I have it, there's no space on the wall for a mirror. So I was out looking at paint to put on a dresser that I already had. And I saw this piece, and it's beautiful. It's this little dresser, 3-drawer dresser, nothing major.
Right.
It has the mirror built on it. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I measured it and everything, went to the salon, measured it. It fits. I bought it. Okay. Oh, I bought it. It was expensive. I was like, okay, all right. But I've got this spot and it's really cute. And I'm literally in the salon and I'm drilling the screws in to the back, to the mirror's frame so it holds on. As I'm doing it, I have a power drill and I don't have quite enough room. I don't think about it. I go like this and reach back. I pop a glass out with my elbow. Single pane glass, $300.
Oh.
So now people go, oh my God, this is so cute. How much is it? I go, $750. Like, it's like, just, it was a lot because, you know, the thing, but it's like that whole thing, the whole day then was me trying to get the glass into the window so no one broke in and, you know, all of that. And it was my first day back from vacation, but it's like, that's the kind of like drama. That's my drama. Okay. It's not like I'm on like going like online. Like I don't have time for that.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
And then people will be like, did you see my Facebook post? I'm like, honestly, no, I don't have time.
Right.
But you know, we have so much darkness, you know, like that. And it's like, in that way, I do want to be that bright spot. You know, in the same way. It's like, yeah.
I think you are.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
You are too.
No, I honestly, I hear a lot of great things about, that's why I wanted you here, because I hear a lot of great things about you.
You haven't come in for a haircut yet, so I don't want to hear it, so.
So I got my boy Jose over at Whiskey and Lace.
No, it's fine.
Shout out to
I'm
them.
not going to, listen, I am not in any way ready to
And you're 3 months out, and I like to walk in.
I'm like, I'll see you in 6 months. No, that's not. No, I'm just kidding.
But my wife and my daughters love you, and
I love them too.
They're the best, and they really are. So, you know, and I really do appreciate you. It's been great having you here.
This has been fun.
This has been a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Were you really?
I really was nervous. I didn't know what you were going to ask me.
I'm so laid back and chill.
I know, but I just feel like my questions, I was nervous, you know.
You did great.
I didn't know what my questions that you were going to ask me were going to be. That's why I brought my own.
I love how you're over prepared. I do.
I am ready.
So one thing I want you to do, and I forgot I completely forgot to ask you this. And if you ever are on this podcast or this, whatever this is, YouTube show, take the 16 personalities test. Have you taken this test?
No.
Okay. So a couple things. I make all my employees take this test.
Okay.
Because it does a couple things. It's either this one or the DISC test, but I like 16 personalities better because it's a little more specified?
Yes.
Fuck it. So
just drink some more. It's fine.
But no, so I like the 16 personalities test because it tells who my people are. And it tells what motivates them. Because what I learned early on in management is money doesn't motivate 90% of the people you have. And everything's very different. Like, I have some guys, if I just tell them they're doing a great job, they will like strike down anybody for me, you know, like they really will. I have other guys, if I give them an extra day off, like they will go to the moon for me. So, you know, 16 personalities I like because one, it tells me if I have the right person in the right role. And it also tells me if this person is motivated by what they're doing. And so I really enjoy that. So take that for me at some point. Just send me what you are, and I'd be interested to see. So 16 personalities, just Google it.
I'm a little nervous. Okay.
But no, it's really good. And then it is really good. And then make your husband take it or whatever. And
I will.
It's really good. Like,
hi, babe. Love you. Sorry.
And it's nice because it shows a lot of stuff that opens your eyes about how your relationship is with somebody. Because sometimes how you think it is and how you think you're showing love or how you think they're being motivated isn't the case at all. It could be completely different from what you think.
It's kind of like that 5 love languages.
Exactly. What's your love language?
Sarcasm.
That's not a love language.
fifth.
It's not. It's not on there. It's not on there.
It's the sixth love language of sarcasm. Yeah.
That might be mine too, but I know that's not one.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Listen, you did this to me, okay? I'm
That was the
trying to
tequila.
it really was. It was the shot of tequila.
What's your love language?
Crap. It's words of affirmation.
Mine too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
And then I'm guessing you show love. Is it by giving gifts?
Yeah, a lot of times. But my other way, like with like my partner, it's more like the physical touch.
Okay.
Yep. That's really. But yeah, gifts are I love giving.
I know you love giving gifts. I can tell.
You can't tell?
I can tell. I can tell.
You can't tell?
I can tell.
You sure? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean the unicorn straws?
Yeah,
or the props?
I mean,
Like,
you're
I'm
the
not
only
sure.
guest I've had who's brought their own props. So, I mean, I've only done 4 of these, but you are the only one who's brought their own props.
So what?
And I love it. I love it. Like,
Oh my gosh.
oh man, it's so good. And then you're one of the only customers I've had who's bought me Starbucks. So I appreciate it.
See?
So,
I mean, yeah. That's
but
my
see,
thing,
I'm
though.
the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go. So what I do, this is all year. Like, I have this Chase card, right? The Amazon card, and I get like 5% back whenever I do purchase on Amazon or whatever. And so I'll save up that money all year, and then I'll just go crazy at the end of the year for all my employees. And that's just. But at the same time, I hate gifts so much. I cannot stand getting gifts. Like,
it's funny because I like the unicorn thing. Like, I'm totally here for it.
yeah,
But like, I feel like there's a lot of times where I get gifts and they're just like off base.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate to be like that, but
I'm the same
I
way.
get stuff and I'm like, oh, I wish you'd save that money and
Yes.
like put it on something else.
Yeah, go
or-
invest that shit or something. Do something for yourself,
like,
you know?
Literally, I know it's awful, but I'm
Weird,
like,
yeah,
they literally like, here, I bought you this, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Or like my client will bring me like a Starbucks, and I'll be like, oh, I hope she takes that out of my tip because I feel bad. Like,
Right.
I know, but I'm totally the person that's like, what do you want from Pop Drinks? Like,
Exactly.
hey, okay, bitches, we're all getting the things today. You know, like it's 100% who I am, and like totally, yeah, I know.
Interesting. Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
Yes, I cannot stand getting
Yeah.
gifts, but I absolutely love giving them.
Yeah.
And like, I will spend hours like, okay, what's this person want? You know, like what's going to, it's so weird.
No, okay, so I did a thing to one of my former stylists. Okay, so she was going through some stuff, and she was kind of like checking out of work, and I could see it.
Yeah.
And I could see that she had this hole in her heart, and she was going through so much, and I didn't know how to like reach out right and like how to not be weird because I am a little socially awkward.
Hey, me too.
I don't know.
That's why I'm so quiet and formal. Because I'm so awkward.
Yeah. No, my joke with you from now on is going to be, I'm going to come to you, shake your hand, and say, hi, my name is Adrienne King, and I'm just going to walk away.
That's fine.
I just prepare yourself.
I'll
Every
be
time
ready.
I see you at your work, I will be there to torment you with that. But I did this thing, and I spent a lot of time, probably way too much time on this, but I looked up like the weirdest stuff on Amazon, and I was sending it to the salon, to her. Because there's no receipt.
Right.
It doesn't say where it came from.
Right.
And just like going, oh, weird. I don't know where that came from. So like Baby Yoda stickers, and they said like baby on board.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a baby. Okay. I think 50 rubber duckies.
50 rubber duckies.
Which is really fun because like I was totally giving myself away. Because that was like the first thing. And I was like, yeah, she got like 50 rubber duckies. Or was it like 100? Because I'm like, shut up. Like, don't say 50 because she'll know it's you. You know, it's like, she got like 100 rubber duckies. That was crazy. I'm like, how many was it? She's like 50. I'm like, oh yeah, it's 50. And I'll be like, yeah, she got like 50 or 100. Yeah, it was like 100. Because I didn't want to give myself away. But I literally sent her like a 6-pack of toothbrushes. I sent her a hand squirrel that you need to look that up.
Okay.
It's creepy.
A hand squirrel.
It's really creepy. It
Hand
is
squirrel.
5 finger puppets.
Okay.
Okay. 4 hands and 1 squirrel head. So you can literally do this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whole other level. But I feel like she like started to like think that it was me. And
Right.
so I spelled my name all messed up on purpose and sent a toilet bowl nightlight to myself to the salon. I did that.
Did you use it?
I did.
How was it?
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I threw it away. It did. I think it lasted like, I want to say like 36 hours. And I was like, why doesn't it light up? And I was like, I have no idea. And I was like, I don't even want to play with this anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, they do think you have to like sanitize something to change the batteries. I'm like, I'm out. Like, that's where I draw the line. Like, I'm done. But yeah, no, I did that. Yep.
Anything you want to tell everybody? Is there anything you want to tell anybody that's thinking about starting their own business? Any words of advice or direction?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Stop waiting. Stop wondering. My advice to stylists that are in corporate and have been in corporate forever and they're just barely making it, get out. Get out. If you've been doing this for, 3, 4, 5 years and you have a good clientele, just do your thing. Stop waiting. I wish I had done it so much earlier. I feel like this would be a totally different, conversation if I had done this sooner, because I'm like 3 years in now.
Okay.
And that's one thing I look back and just kick myself like, man, I don't know that I was really ready as much, but I mean,
right.
I had managed corporate salons for so long that like I ate, slept, and breathed data, and that was something that was really, it was so scary to go out on your own. And I feel like having that support system that just kind of said, do it, stop, just go, just do it. You can do it. And I'm like, oh God, but, yeah.
What would you need in place to start? What things did you have that you
I crunched numbers.
Okay.
That was a big thing. I crunched numbers. How many haircuts? If I only did haircuts and did no color, which is not my life, but it's kind of the opposite. I do a lot more color than cuts now. But how many haircuts did I have to do in a week to make it? To pay my bills and pay the salon, pay the bills, and pay myself. How many haircuts? And so you kind of like do a price point and figure out like how much does that cost? And you there's definitely some equations there.
Right.
But that was a big part, was like figuring that out and going, do you have that base? Yes. If not, can you get it? Like, yeah. So go do that, and if you do color, how many colors would you need? And then how many haircuts does that cancel out? And like, that's how we do it,
Right.
because it's different. Every business is unique that
Very
way,
much so.
especially in a service industry. And, when I'm figuring out all of that, I never thought about tips. So that was like really nice to have like that extra on the top. But I'm definitely one that I don't feel like we're required to be tipped like, a lot of people like they do. I see it as a gift.
Right.
And I really appreciate that. Like that extra is just like, wow, like, thank you, because it's like, that's what keeps us, going sometimes.
Right.
But yeah.
What type of accounting or like legal type of stuff would you need in place, or did you struggle with
There
when going
really
into
wasn't a lot. It was just when you find the place to work, like for me, I was finding a salon.
Right.
So in the very beginning, when I was a booth runner for like 4 months or 5 months before I finally like went and did my own thing, that was the hardest part, because it was like trying to figure out how do you register that business and how do you do all these things? It was a lot easier though. Like when I found my salon, you have to have the fire marshal come and do an inspection.
Yep.
So you have to make sure everything is ready to go and do the inspection. And then you've got to take that inspection and do your business license. And then you need to get all that information, and then you give it to state board to get your license to open. Like it felt really crazy. Like you'd think you'd get your license for your business first from the state, like saying it's going to be a cosmetology facility.
Right.
It was not like that. It felt very backwards to me. Because I'm like, wait.
You had to go through the city first.
You have to go through the fire marshal, then the city, and then turn all that paperwork into the state, for the boards and regulations. And there was a lot of like little things that you're going, oh, I had to do that. Like, oh, you have an alarm? Well, you better turn that paperwork to the city, that you have an alarm because there's all these like extra things that if you don't do that and register your alarm, it causes more issues. It's a lot of little things.
There's a lot of little regulations,
Yeah, that you're going, oh my gosh, I didn't know I needed that,
What about the accounting aspect of it? Are you doing like all your in-house books, or do you have a CPA, or how do you
do a
handle
lot of it myself.
Okay.
But I do keep, it's like the businesses that you purchase your products from, they do also kind of keep an account on you. So it's easier to say, okay, I spent
10,000 here, 5,000 here,
28,000 here. It's definitely, one of those things. I feel like with what we do, there's a lot of people that act like we make just tons of money, and I feel like they're just putting on airs because we really don't make a lot.
Right.
It's like, by the time that I took all of my stuff, it's like you look at how much you paid in rent or mortgage or whatever on your building, and then all your supplies and your utilities and all your things, and by the time you're done, you're going, okay, I'm living on a prayer. Like, I don't know how I'm doing it sometimes,
Right.
But even being booked out like that, it's still, it's really one of those things where you've got to keep an eye on your
expenses,
your expenses, because, the companies raise the prices, and if you don't raise your prices, and I'm trying not to do it as much as I can, but
you have to, you got to stay in business.
I know, but
you got to treat it like a family. You got to defend it. Yeah.
It's hard.
And that's one thing I noticed is I was going through our numbers for June, because we keep track of all that stuff, our expenses and all that stuff. And if I compared my expenses to June to July, we didn't make a profit until July 29th.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like after it, if my expenses are the exact same as June, and which they're kind of maintain the same levels.
Yeah.
Like we didn't make a profit till July 29th, and then after that it was all it was 3 days of profit, or 2 days, because today was Sunday and we're closed, so it was 2 days of profit. So it's, people don't realize how slim your margins really are, and you have to be on top of that, and to you have to watch everything costs money, leaving the lights on, leaving the AC on, all that stuff,
and you still have to
nickels and dimes.
And you still have to look at your business and decide what you want to take risks on.
Yes.
I just invested in a product line in the salon and got rid of a lot of things that I've been carrying and went to something that's just like one line.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, it was really scary. When they told me how much it was going to cost, I was like, oh my God. But I had that same, it was like, it fueled me a little bit, because it was the same feeling when I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job and go out on my own. It was like, oh God, I don't know. It's like, just do it.
Yep.
Like, it's scary, and just push yourself, because if you keep pushing yourself past that point, it's like, you got to find that way. When you're self-employed, it's a totally different world. It's one thing when it's corporate, or you're just working for someone. It's a different world. It's not for everybody. Being self-employed is not for everybody.
It's not.
It's not. It's really not. But
it's something though I would recommend, even if you don't do it as a full-time thing, to do it as a side gig, because I've learned so much from being self-employed. Like the way I handle myself and I handle, the company I work for, money is a lot different being self-employed, because I know what it is to fail. I know what it is to lose a business, to have it go bankrupt, to have stuff fall down. And so it's a different mindset when you've been down that road and know what it's like to spend your own money on something, to pay the rent on this building, or pay the utilities, or pay for this supplier to resupply whatever I'm selling. It's a lot different than, oh well, this is the boss's money, I'm just gonna, he's got a lot of it, they'll just have to come out of his boat account. It's a big difference in how you think of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's nice, even when you do make that change where it's like, this feels right, and it feels like something, the same feeling I had before. If it doesn't work out, the beauty of it in that disaster is you learn so much. You're like, okay, I have all this knowledge that I wouldn't have had if I didn't fail. If I didn't make that mistake, I have it now and I can take it on to my next venture, where you can't buy that knowledge. You can't get that anywhere else except from trying it and understanding and learning from where either you messed up or you succeeded, and then taking that and growing on to the next level.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to hear you talk about that, to expand and to grow. And hopefully I see hair unicorns everywhere at some point.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have that much energy.
Well, it's not a lot of.
I think it's something that it'll come in time.
It will.
You know, I'm dreaming big, but I'm keeping my feet on the ground, and I know where I'm at right now. And I keep thinking of, okay, the next step is going to be this. Like, I already have girls that have started school or are about to start school that I already know are going to come work for me when they get out. And I have plans in place. And it's like, man, when they do get out, when both of these two people are done, I'm going to be out of room. It's like, okay. Yeah. You know, and that's exciting to me. It is. You know, it's like, and then. But hopefully what you're doing is the people you've had for, a year or so, 2 years, whatever you've had, hopefully out of that group of people, you're like, okay, who's ready to take who could handle a salon? I already know who. I know you do. I already know. I know you've been watching. I took this person and told them to go. I was like, what are you doing with your life? Right. And at the time, she's my assistant, and she just shampoos. Right. She can't do anything licensed with hair. She does more than shampoo, but you know what I mean? Like legally, she can just shampoo. Right. She, took care of my books when I needed her to. She answered the phone. She swept up and cleaned up my station in between clients. She helped me manage the books. She would manage me and just say, when did you eat? Yeah. Have you peed today? Right. Go. Like, you're sitting here talking, go. Right. And that was like a big thing. But, I see that in her, and I don't think that she sees it in her, but I already know that once I get her solid in the craft of, like, in what we do, that she's going to be the one that I go, okay, you stay here and I'll be back 2 days a week, and you got it from there. And then you go start another one and do it again. She hasn't even heard this yet. She hasn't heard this yet. So, she'll be killing me later when she sees this, but, but you know who I'm talking about. I mean, that's, and my clients that have been with me and through this whole thing, they know. Yeah. But, I make jokes about it, whenever it's like when she was like getting ready to like leave the salon and stop being my assistant so she could take a little break before she started school, I would just, my personality, I go, oh, this bitch. She's just like, oh, I'm going to go do hair too. How hard can it be? And, like, and she every time looks at me and goes, that's not what happened. Tell them what really happened. And I'm like, no, that's what happened. I don't know what she's talking about. But really, the way that I see it in this, there's so many stylists and barbers and whatever in our industry that they have learned these trade secrets and they're theirs and they're not sharing. Right. Because they know if I put this toner and do this, or if I hold the clippers this way, it does this. And I'm not going to teach anybody else that, Right. Because I learned that. Screw it. You want my formulas? I'll tell you right now. Right. That's where I'm at. I'm happy to teach you the things and help you grow. Because, what good is it going to do anybody if you just stay here? Exactly. You stay here, you're never going to be better. I'm not going to be better because you're always going to be here and I'm always going to feel like I'm here. And that's it. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's go to a hair show. Let's go learn stuff. Let's, take classes. Let's keep growing. And, I looked at her in this situation and seeing that she has passion for it and her going, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? That hair, like, it's green. And I'm like, I know, because she had purple in her hair and we lifted it out and it turned green. Yay. But I know what to put in. And she'd go, how do you, and I could tell she had that hunger. She wanted to learn why and how. And, and I just said, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm your assistant. I'm like, no, you need to go. You need to go to school. It's like, if anything, just do nails. Get into this. Because she already makes tumblers. She made my tumbler right here. Beautiful. So silently judging your hair. I figured as much. I'm already doing that. It's all right. Yeah. My hair looks good though. So. Sorry, Jose.
This was actually Maria, but.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. But, I said, a lot of what you do with cups is what you do with nails.
Yeah.
You're using a lot of the same glitters, a lot of the same, things. It's very similar. Like, just, if anything, just go do nails, go learn nails, and then come back and do nails here, like whatever. What makes you happy? What do you want to do? And she's like, I can't leave you. And I'm like, yeah, like,
You can.
I will be fine.
Right.
I will figure, who's going to be your assistant? Don't worry about it. I'll worry about it. And it took me a while to find somebody that I really, that's like the right fit. But, we had a joke for like 3 months, and she's like, you're never going to let me leave. And I'm like, I know, I'm working on it. But, that
So
to me
is she in
my
school
job.
now, or?
So she starts in August.
She starts in August,
Yeah,
okay.
August
And
22nd, she starts school.
Are you
So
guys,
she is my December 2023 Christmas present, just so you
you get her back?
I get her back.
Get her-
That's our joke. It's like, she's my little birdie, and I'm gonna let her go. And she's like, I'm gonna come back. And I joke. I'm like, no, you're not. You're never coming back. I love to like
don't
play
even
that.
love me.
I love to play this like dramatic, like mother figure that just, it's like, but it's just really funny. It's just how we
Right.
joke and how we play. She knows I'm not serious, but I love to,
Right.
she's just, she's like, all right, well, yeah, because I start school in August. I go, you bitch. She's like, shut up. But she will totally like correct me in front of clients. Like, I'll have somebody in my chair and I'm like, yeah, she's leaving me forever. And she's like, not forever, December next year, stop. And I'm all, it's basically forever,
Right.
But like, that's, but that's the thing. It's what I had said to her was, it's not my job to keep you where you are. It's my job to help you grow. It's my job to look at you and see what you have and help you keep going and growing.
And that is the sign of a great leader. That really is. And
I appreciate
a lot of
that,
people, no,
but-
that's true. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people, like you said, I want you to stay where you are. I don't, you're making me money. I don't want you to move. Like, everything's fine. Be happy with what you're getting, and that's okay. But I'd much rather see people go, I'd be so thrilled if Damon or Brandon or Darren called me tomorrow, like, hey, I got a job as a service manager or parts manager or some sort of manager at another dealership, because that means that I did a good job as a leader, training them how to get where they need to go.
There it is.
And that's more important than any money they can bring, because that, if they go and do a good job there, that speaks on how good of a leader I am. Yeah. And that's the same for you. If you train somebody up, you train them into a leader where they can go and start their own hair salon or whatever. Hopefully they come back to you and you go on a business partnership together.
Right.
But
But even if they want to go do their own thing, like,
right.
I don't have those hard feelings. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like I've had experiences where I've had some that I've worked with them for a few years, and then it's like I can see it in them that they're ready to like next step.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, just do it. And it's like, it breaks my heart when you see them just go over instead of go up. It's like, come on, like, you can
fly, little birdie, fly.
Literally though.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Right.
It's like I had to have great mentors that did that to me,
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave you with this. Okay. My cosmetology teacher used to say to us all the time, and she made it marinate. So I'm going to let this, you need to just let it
marinate.
Okay. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Just let it sit. Okay. Because it's amazing how much that like affected me. She made us sit there for like 3 minutes of silence after she told us. And I was like, I'm like, okay. And then you start thinking, you're like, wow, I mean, she's right. Like, if you think differently, it's like all of the things that you have in front of you just start evolving and changing in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it means to me. I mean, everybody's different, but yep.
I appreciate you ending on that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Well, it's been super awesome having you here. You ready to
You
drink?
did this to yourself.
I didn't do nothing.
You did this to yourself. You brought me here, and I'm sorry.
You accepted.
I'm also
you
not
did this
sorry.
to yourself.
I really did this